doing well. Welcome to the show. Make sure you smash the like button on your way in. Today we're talking about strategy, closing in on BlackRock's Bitcoin stack. They are going after went after another $1 billion purchase. That's not just accumulation, man. That's a competition. At the same time, Ondo's pushing tokenized equities towards the SEC clearance. 35% of investors are already moving into tokenized assets, and XRP just came to Japan's mainstream economy through Rakuten's $23 billion loyalty network. Capital markets are shifting fast. Let's break it out today. We'll see you lively in just a few minutes. Enjoy the Ibiza chill. Appreciate you guys being here. Yo, what's up, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Hope you can hear me. It looks like from the audio meters that the music was great from the beginning. You can hear me. Hopefully, I sound great to you. Appreciate you being here. GM. It is Tuesday. It is Taco Tuesday. It is April 14th. I tell you what. We got a fun show planned. Not that it's going to be fun. It's always fun. Not that there's anything different other than the normal fun that we have. We'll see. You never know. But shout out to my family that is here. That is you guys. Let's see. Who got the gold? Michael Navarro got the gold today. Let's go, GM. Let's get it. Mike Vollmer in the building early this morning. What is up, fam? Hope you are doing well. A couple of familiar faces as I was reading the chat and interacting before the show this morning. Curtis Gore in the building. Let's get it, sir. Greg Ward is back. Says that he got his account permanently suspended. No idea what he did, but he is here hanging out with us today. Appreciate you, my brother. Good to see you as always. Carrie in the building. Carrie McCook. I did it, man. I didn't mean to do the McCook, but I did it. Carrie M. Cook. He in the building. That's my G right there. DJ and Brian. Yes. Let's go. Luca. GM, sir. Hope you're doing well. Eventual Mama reposting the stream. That's great. Transibiza. Yeah, that was the theme of today. We wanted it super chill. I wasn't sure. I've been doing a little bit of research. I don't know if the music was helping the searchability of the show, being that granted it was like basically the same news that we're reiterating, but I think like as it's hitting, we're not doing that same thing right now. It's I'm going to do a little test to see if we want to go back to doing like the headlines in the songs, or if we're just going to just play some normal chill stuff while we get closer to 9, or 8 o'clock, excuse me. But I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Mike V is currently on the throne. There it is. GM to y'all. Hopefully you got your coffee, your tea, your water, whatever it is. We'll sip together. We hydrate. We hydrate together. That's what we want to do. We want to make sure that we are not dehydrated by nature. All right. I know you could be doing anything, but you're hanging out. We'll stop bullshitting. We're gonna get into the news. We'll look at crypto. Bitcoin's kind of pumping today, 74,000, almost 400, 74.4. So it's been a little bit since we've seen this high. We'll see if we can break through. If we break through, we break through this point that we're at, and when we look at the charts, we'll see that. We're gonna do the chart. We're gonna do the charts first today. We'll go through like all the numbers and we'll do charts, and then we'll go through the headlines. The news is kind of like a secondary thought today. There's really it's nothing major. It's kind of all the same stuff. Strategies buying $1 billion. Michael Saylor said, Bitcoin's going to 20 million, 21 million, something like this. I honestly didn't. I grabbed the headline and I was just like, we're gonna find this one out together because I have not even figured out what that article is all about. There's an article about inflation, an article about Ondo. 35% of investors are already moving into tokenized assets. What's the slowdown? Everybody else, and then we got a story about XRP and Japan. So before we get into the news, let's get into the numbers. We'll bring this up. There it is. 22 is your fear and greed index score according to CoinGlass today. 22, up a little bit from yesterday. We were 18 yesterday. We were 18 yesterday here on CoinGlass. It's going to be way different on CoinMarketCap. They're probably going to say that we're like in the greed section. Neutral 55. But 22. I found that to be interesting. I don't want to set anybody up for a trap, like there should be no bull traps going on right now. Like we should all just be like, okay, we could all be wrong too. We could all be wrong, but we're all looking for another pullback. There is no major catalyst to get crypto to pump. Other than, you're seeing some people buy it, Saylor buying $1 billion worth of it. He's almost got as much as BlackRock now. Like they are just like single digits away percent-wise, if I'm not mistaken. The difference between what BlackRock has for their ETS and what Saylor has for strategies. So we can check all that out in a bit here, but let's move on into CoinMarketCap. Refresh it for the latest and the greatest because you never know. You never know. All right, here we go. 2.52 trillion. We kind of like crossed the threshold, man. We have been just capped out. We have not been able to get past the 2.5. We were at the 2.42. We were 2.5, man. We were just ping pong and back and forth. Couldn't do one thing or the other. And then, boom, we're up 4.38% today, market wide. Again, at 2.52 trillion. Fear and greed index over here is a 55. Johnny 5 alive. Altcoin season 33. What was it? 28 yesterday? Let's see. 31. Okay. 33. So it didn't move yet. It didn't move for today yet. Maybe it'll move a little bit later. Yo, my G. We got Jay from Midas and the team and the community, the Midas community in the building. Up to 11 link now. Stinky Linkies building. Let's go. 55 on CoinMarketCap. Yeah. 55 fear and greed indexes. I think that this 22 is a little bit closer to where it should be. And again, I don't want to lead anybody to slaughter here, any sheep to slaughter. But the idea is, man, don't get caught in a bull trap because we've seen this before, right? And look, here's the Bitcoin chart. We saw this, right, with this big drop. And then we had this consolidation point where it was, bop, bop, and then boom. And then we get this consolidation point where it's bop, 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 bop. Everybody's getting all fucking excited. And then boom. I mean, like, if I'm not mistaken, there should be a big sell-off today, right? Doesn't everybody have to sell all their crypto to pay their taxes tomorrow? Isn't that what everybody does? I saw some article about that, like $80 billion or some stupid number. That's some fart article. I chose not to use it for today. Sometimes I'll throw one FUD article into the show, but I did not today. So the two of them are headed for 10% of all Bitcoin. Yeah, between BlackRock and Strategy. Something that was once decentralized will no longer be. There'll be definitely some centralized control. Manipulation control. Obviously, there's no organization unless you just go ahead and you just create the Bitcoin DAO. Michael Saylor is the CEO. Larry Fink is the CFO. Some new things are happening, and I'm just kidding. That is not actually what's happening. But that's what I just wanted to caution you on. Is if you look at this chart right here, remember this is something that we've been tracking. Were these two drops and the consolidation points, right? And so, technically from here to here was one. And then we had from here to here is another. And then our consolidation points were in here. And we're in one right now. Where is it going to go? How high do we go? And look, and what I was saying at the beginning of the show is you got to look like right where we're at. We are so darn close to, you're in a trend until you're not, right? And locally, and look, you see what's happening here. It's either here or it's just getting ready to form. There could be double top right here. If we come up a little bit more, right? We don't have to go too much higher. This is the daily chart, so that's back to March. Could be head and shoulders. It could be a lot of different things, But one thing I do know is if we, nope, I don't want the marker for that. I want the line for this. If we break over that line, then I start looking at our top structure like that. We were in a new trend, right? Because you would say something like that. There's the new trend box that you're in. That could be where we're at instead of this downtrend. But we got to break up out of this one. We got to break up out of here first. But it does look like we have started a new trend. That's for sure. I know that there's a Bitcoin organization. I know that. I'm just saying, like they're gonna just take over control and start a feel better, Mike. What's the matter, Mike? Not feeling good, or someone not feel good? I hope you're all feeling well. I hope you're all feeling great. If you're not feeling good, I'll send some positive vibes your way. I'm sure we'll all be feeling good if we see a new local high here for us to continue this uptrend, and this would be great. But again, cautiously optimistic. And we had talked about this. We could get damn near close to that 80,000 and still be considered in this uptrend that we were in. Now, I know that we've done a little bit more as far as percent wise from the last one, right? If we were to measure this from make it easier to see. All right, so it was about from the bottom. I guess we could probably get a little bit more out of that, to be honest with you. All right, so 20%, 21%, 21% from this last consolidation from the peak until we started going down. And here is our peak. And we did when we peaked out up over here the last time in about mid-March, mid to late March, 27% is what we did as far as the spread so far during this consolidation. Now, it's been a little bit tighter. It has had a little bit more volatility in the last one, and it is definitely now longer, right? And so we'll see what happens if we get rejected up here at this same spot. We get sent back down. It could be again that could be the larger part of the Head and Shoulders that it's in, right? We could tighten it up a little bit, but you've got remember bop, 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 and you could just see a drop. It would make sense, to pop us down there, but at the end of the day, who actually knows what we're doing here? You know what I mean? We're making the best educated guesses that we can based on the information that we've got. I mean, you see stuff. Okay, like look at and I know Bitcoin is different than some other things, but let's take a look at what's going on in the world, right? Like let's take a look at oil and all that stuff, right? There was a sharp drop in it yesterday. We decided that the U.S. is going to put a blockade on the Strait of Hormuz, and so now you've basically strangled um, everybody with the oil, including Iran, and that might be the point that gets. Apparently, we're back into negotiations and we're talks, right? And so that would I think there was some report we could pull this up. There's like 100 and something tankers like coming to the U.S. empty for oil. Let's see. Let's go to the news. 14 hours ago, record armada of tankers bound for U.S. Gulf to load oil. There's a lot of people are talking different, and I'm obviously not going to get political on this show. That's not what we're doing today. It'd be better to do that like in a discourse conversation with somebody versus doing it myself. But the whole idea of what he's doing is like, I mean, look at this. Like the U.S. is now like in charge of a major part of the world's oil supply. We I think we took away Iran's negotiating power by strangle holding off the strait. Um, and so, that obviously stuff like that. None of us like if you're a crypto guy like me, like we got to start paying attention to a lot more things because now look, if we're trading, like we're trading tokenized stocks, we're trading oil. Like yesterday, we got blown up on the oil trade, but in the flip side of that, the Tesla trade that we've been in for a while, that thing's like 20% up now. You know what I mean? Like so, like we take the good for the bad, and we're learning like all these different things where you got to be paying attention. If we're going to be trading stocks and crypto, we're going to be trading commodities, oils, metals, all that stuff. Like we got to be paying attention to a lot more things. And so I think it's probably best that we start doing more of that on the show. So I want to start looking at more stock stuff. So if you guys got some really good resources, I know all the really good resources for crypto, and I can find some for stocks. But if you got some ideas, man, drop some stuff down below that we can add to the show here. But let's see here. An unusually large number of crude oil tankers on the open sea has the American Gulf Coast as a destination as the ships are redirected to load cargoes bound for markets around the world. That's massive stuff. Big time change. All right. We were over here on so like the long story short of all of that is it's time for us to start paying it more attention to what is going on. Speaking of what is going on, let's see. Right now. All right. All right, there we go. Bear with me. I had to. Well, now it's off. It's like off in the frame of the. I don't know how that changed. Oh, you know why? Because it's not full screen. It's almost full screen. There. Now, now we're cooking with peanut oil. There it is. All right, we're back. It's off a little bit, but I'm happy with it. All right, so let's get back into this. So it's a 2.52. We're at the 55, the fear and greed index over here. Altcoin season. What's happening in our shrimp and seas? Let's go check out the open seas. Not for NFTs, for shrimpies. Thenos, Aptos, Say, World Liberty, Financial, XMR. A lot of this got cleared up, man. At one point, we were going into the high numbers. Now we're chilling out around the 50s and the 40s. But if this floats your boat, if anything in here is in your portfolio and you are a long-term believer in it, those are the opportunities. Same thing with when we come here. And I'm not advocating for you guys to buy any of this, but if you got some raved out, take some profits. If you got some monad, I know it was down big last week at some point, right? But still, if you just got in because of the hopium, take those profits and run. Put it into Bitcoin. Throw it in your Tangent wallet. Michael Navarro is going to have one of these pretty soon here. And he loses. Stable. Midnight. 7%. Isn't this thing already how does it go down even more? Oh. Now it just goes down like fractions of pennies, and it's like looks like the death spiral. Just keeps doing it. Oh, jeepers. What is happening? You can't tell me that this is that is not a good sign. That's the jeez Louise. Oh man, I feel bad for anybody that has put their faith into midnight. Yeah, unless something is going on that I don't know about. I would love to know. That would be absolute wonderful to hear. Let's get into some better news. Poe Man can sell it. Yeah, the Poe Man's got it. Oh man, Poe Man's a Poe Man. All right, Bitcoin 74.3 down a little bit since we started talking. 74.6, I believe, is when we started the show. It is still up almost 5% today, so that's a big sign. That's nice. Remember, we looked at the chart. We'll go back and look at all those things in just a little bit here. Ethereum 2371. Look at that. Look at all those. They put all these little markers on here now. What is this? Total supply hits 100 million mark. U.S. SEC declares Ethereum not a security. Okay. All right. So you get some milestone stuff. Very cool. What was the last one? Wall Street Investment Banks, Tom Lee, Goldman Sachs, Harvard. All right. Peter Thiel. All right. 2370 for Ethereum. Up almost 10% today. Shout out to the ETH fam. XRP is $1.37, up a 3.5% today. BNB back well over the 600 mark. You missed your opportunity, 615 for now, right? If we go down market wide again, you'll get your chance. But other than that, man, you definitely want to get it when it's under 600 for BNB. Solana 85 up 4. Tron sitting in the number 8 seat at 32 cents. Dogecoin number 9 at 9. 9 at 9. And then Hyperliquid hitting the 10 spot. Let's see. Where is card? Oh, the flippening. Oh, man. I wish I had
Ladies and gentlemen.
Nope. We're doing pizza dance. Hey, I'm Maria, Papa Pia, Cardano got the flipperia. There it is. Bitcoin Cash flipping Cardano, sending it to the unlucky 13 spot. You know what happens now. You know what happens. Oh, wait. I know I got it. I didn't mean to double up on that. But yeah, okay, there it is. It has happened. And Chainlink clicking on its heels, man. This thing is coming out of the $6.6 billion level. Gonna blast off. It is. Look at this thing, is neck and neck. It's like a $2 million race right here, but it happened. We watched it. We were looking at this yesterday. I didn't know it was gonna happen today, but holy Toledo, it happened. Cardano number 13. Chainlink on its heels, you know that. Canton's on its heels, you know that. What are the things up here? Stellar's probably going to have a better bull run. Litecoin might even have a better bull run. AVAX, I don't like the chart on AVAX, to be perfectly honest with you. It's going to get bumped because of a PayPal stablecoin for sure. Obviously, this thing came out of nowhere. It is sitting at number 24 now with a $4 billion market cap. So PayPal with the amount of exposure that they've got, that will generate a big ecosystem for them, just to print more money. Yeah, rip Avex, man. I'm definitely Bulmer. I hear you. I hear you. Ton coin. I don't think that's ever gonna come back. Shiba for what is Shib gonna do? What is Shib gonna do? I mean, I know they're putting it in ETFs, but what does it do? It doesn't do anything. H bar, Swee's got to like compete on some things. They got to come back. Hedera will make a push towards at least this grouping, which will further pop this thing down. Another one at some point. You're going to see a bunch of these move on up. Uniswap, I think once they solidify this whole liquidity layer thing for DeFi, I think that the future will be bright for Uniswap. Near Protocol, all my AI friends. I got some somebody sent me some information about Near that I read, and I'll tell you what, bullish. We're bullish. We're bullish on Near Protocol. I don't want to add it to my my list yet of things that I've bought or things that I'm telling you to buy. But let me tell you, I'm bullish on Near Protocol. Let's take a look at the chat. Oof. It's juicy, especially with what it's doing and where it's coming. I'm telling you, bullish. Need protocol on that AI front. Everybody's got to have a little AI something in their portfolio, and I think that's the one that I'm looking at, that I'm eyeing right now. Obviously, you got to wait for the pullback. $1.41 right now, $1.8 billion market cap. But when these things run, man, you're already over $1 billion. When these things run, man, hitting that 30 billion ain't that tough. It ain't that tough, especially if you got the name, if you got the attention, you got the market share. Bada boom, bada bing. Tell me another one. What happened to ASI? Well, Fetch, the Super Alliance. What happened to that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what happened to it. So you can buy Near in Phantom. Thank you, DJ and Brian. Just to let y'all know, you can buy Near in the Phantom wallet. There you go. Astrodex. I know a lot of people are talking about that. We'll see. Aave is a big DeFi push. That'll probably come down to the higher ranks. That could potentially even push. That could be something when we get to the peak, when we get to the run, and Aave is doing its thing. And we're pushing Cardano further and further. I think that could be what solidifies it into the 20s. When Aave pops to number 19, Cardano is going to go to number 20, something like that. Ripple USD will come up there, the Ripple stablecoin for sure. Some of these stablecoins will just absolutely do well. Ondo at some point will blast up for sure. Algo, shout out to all the Algo fam. Caspa, I'm so sorry to all the Caspa fam. The Caspa Kilas. It's the Bitcoin Kila. Caspa. Nope. No, it ain't. Cheers to you guys, though. I'm going to have some of that copium and that hopium with you. Here, I just redid my backyard. I'll get the acoustic guitar all tuned up. We'll get some strings on, new strings. We'll get it tuned up, and then come on over. We'll smoke some hopium and we'll sing some kumbaya and let you know, and then we'll tell the story about how Caspa did not become the Bitcoin killer. Cosmos. Yeah, there's some coins down here that may end up doing all right, but I'm telling you, like it's survival of the fittest out there, and it ain't gonna be pretty for a lot of these projects. And that's the way that the run is gonna go. And some people will disagree with me, and that's fine. It'd be great to have that conversation, but it is what it is. This is the stuff you got to be looking at and worried. Bitcoin. ETFs. Let's see. Let's do this. Can we do all crypto, or are we going to refresh that data? Damn it. I was on the wrong one. I was looking at this one earlier, and then I flipped it over to Bitcoin. And you know what happens? Then we lose all the data. But we can get a snapshot of what happened yesterday. We were down 280 million. But let's swing it over to Bitcoin. That's the important look. That's what we want to see. How's Tau doing? Well, let's check the chart. We're gonna go to Trading View next, and then we'll spend a good amount of time over on Trading View. So look at that. There you go. 490 inflow for BlackRock. They bought a bunch of Bitcoin, and then Fidelity had a big outflow. Gee, little Willikers. You had a big outflow, 3.24 thousand. That's like a BlackRock size day. That is not typical of a Fidelity day. How's our friends at Morgan Stanley? There it is. Down a little bit from yesterday. This thing's going to go on a run at some point. We'll see what the market does today. I mean, the market is up today, right now, and so when this thing opens, you can see it's in pre-market. So when the market opens, you might see this thing rip up. Hopefully, we'll see this thing run on a parabolic thing, because that is a really good sign for like there is institutional, but I think also it's a good retail exposure as well. From from Morgan Stanley, they got a lot of a lot of clients, a lot of assets under management, but they got a lot of clients, and so that'd be that's a great exposure. All right, let's do this. Let's look at charts. Here's the total. Down a little bit over here, 2.5. Actually about the same thing that we were showing on CoinMarketCap. Remember, we were saying yesterday, what are we doing? Are we going up? Are we going down? We could now do this, right? And then, that we could, this could just be a nice little fun day, but then we come back down here, right? Like cautiously optimistic. We're not celebrating. Our chickens haven't hatched. They didn't even lay any eggs yet. We're just watching. We want to make sure, because as you can see, we are still in a horrible, massive downtrend that started back in October of 2025. And as you can see, we've had a lot of different chapters to this experience, in which we do see right before the end, right here. Look, we had this high, and we can only go off of what we've seen before, and that's that's what we're doing. We had that, and then it made a final push, and then boom. So we had, things are a little bit different scaled, or maybe it's this one, because we didn't really have, we had some high pushes right off the thing, but then we fell down. So this was the first push right here, and then we get rejected and we come back down, or maybe we even come up a little bit and then get rejected from there. We have been saying on a lot of different coins, it does look like there's some positive short-term outlook. That looks good. But on the longer term frames, like it does look like we are headed down for a nice little bit more. This is one of my favorites to look at. I like looking at the weekly as well. It tells it a little bit more clean, a little bit shorter, obviously. Let's go to it just so you can see what I'm talking about. And then we're going to drill and we'll look at some scalping opportunities, time zones. So you can just see, like it stair steps it a little bit better when you look at the weeklies. So it telegraphs. Let's remove our So look, like right as, and we can use this as the example. Like right as we caught up, we're catching up. This could be the moment where we crash down. Now, we'll see. We're also, I think we've caught up with the 200. That's the blue line. It may be hard for you guys to see. I should think about, let's go here. There we go. All right. So the 200 is yellow. And then the 21 day is the white. And so we are getting ready to cross or touch. And one of two things is going to happen. We are going to see what you saw right here, where we go down a little bit, right? Because the 21 day is coming down and the 200 day was coming up to it. Or we're going to see what we saw right here, where the 21 was coming down, the 200 day was coming up. boom, we smacked up off this thing and we ripped up for 2 years. But I mean, I doubt that. I think this is probably the more likely scenario. We are expecting this year anyhow. So we'll end up seeing, do we get the kiss and then the run? The kiss and then the run. We'll see. That's market wide. I know, again, you're just going to see what happens. But you can see both situations playing out. There is a lot of attention on what's going on in crypto. Tokenization is taking hold. Tokenized stocks, market caps are going up. Stable coins are going up. Like everything's happening. So while the 4-year cycle would dictate that we're going to have a chill out year, it may just be over for that, and it may just be we talk about infrastructure time all the time on this show. That's what it's looking like. We can't until we break out. When I'll say it again, you're in a downtrend until you're not. We have to structurally change what is happening for us to then say, okay, this is we're flipping bullish. Like we might be there. We might think like, I mean, mentally I'm there. I'm a perma bull on crypto. I'm a perma bull on Bitcoin. Like I know where this is going. But this is either being manipulated to the downside for the temporary, or we're all systems go and we're going way up to the moon. So a lot of us are hopeful to go to the moon, but you got to be pragmatic here. Let's look at anything different. Anything different on the see, look, here's where this time, just like Bitcoin's getting ready to do. We crossed, we dipped, and now we're coming back to it. This could be the beginning of altcoin season as we know it. I don't know what that looks like with the amount of dilution that we have in this industry. Let's take a look and see where we're at. We haven't looked at this in a couple days, but we're getting ready to add another fucking million coins. 48.72 million. 48.72 million. We started tracking this at like 44 million like a few weeks ago. It's just like there's nothing we can do at this point. I just wish that there could be like a massive purge, and then from there, we can go ahead and build. Just purge all of the rugs. Nice. All right. Shout out to the homies in the Discord. By the way, I see that we've already got an imposter of me, and then we've got probably some comments and stuff to clean up. So I'm going to be doing some promotion of people to mods in the Discord. Appreciate you, homies, for helping out there. If you are in the Discord and you want to be a mod, just let me know. Shoot me a note or shoot a message in one of the general chats or whatever. And then if you want to get in the Discord, this is where I grab the link and send it into the chats. Copy. But we are going to be cleaning it up. I tell you what. All right, so we're going to go. That is to Rumble. That is to YouTube. Let's go here. I'm just going to make sure everybody's got the link to the Discord so you guys can join, squad up. Remember, also, this is actually a great time for me to tell you this. Let me make sure I'm full screen. Okay. All right. So I'm putting the link everywhere so you've got it in all the different chats. But here's the deal. Okay. We are giving away $1,000 this Friday live on the show. All you got to do is be on the BitUnex trade squad. You got to make a deposit, get yourself a ticket. You got to make some trades, get yourself some tickets. And so I'm going to be picking winners live. And so I'm not sure who all is in there and trading right now. I know that I am. And so I don't really want to win myself. I would like to give this to you guys. And so get in there, start getting those tickets. And $1,000 is going to you guys on Friday, $1,000. And so all you got to do is just get in there and be active. If you need the link to that, it is, that's another thing. So I got to do the roles thing and do, thanks, Mike. I got to do the roles thing. And then also I need to do like a links in the Discord. So we got links to everything. But I'll put that in a little bit, the link for the BitUnex trade squad. Because again, for you to just get some free money on Friday for being on the team, why the heck not? Someone's going to win some big money. It should be you. It will be you. All right. Let's do this. Let's go to the Bitcoin chart. The Bitcoin chart. This is looking juicy, man. I'll tell you what. I also put a post out. Let's go to the day. This is the weekly too. I put out a post the other day, and again, this is high. It's higher than what I would say. Man, what is going on with the volume? Visible range volume profile. Get on there. Okay. And then let's go here. Number of rows. Oh man, this drives me crazy. All right. Anyway. So what I was saying was, look, do you see this volume gap? You know what that means? That means right here is where we should expect to have some resistance. We're already in like fucking no man's land right here. There is nothing to stop us. That's 80. This is at 86,000. If we, and my whole thing is, look, like we've got to obviously break out above here to create this new high. But if we do that, I would think, look, you've got nothing to stop you. Yeah, it pops back up right here at, and that's right at the 200 day, right? Or what did we make yellow? We made that the 21, right? No, because it was blue. The 21 is the white. So that's the 200 day. So, I mean, that makes sense that our volume stops right there. This is going to continue maybe to come down a little bit. It will act as a magnet. We will pull up. Man, I would expect us to hit, the 80,000. And we've talked about that, for this thing to continue to come down like this and for price to just go up. Man, we could probably blast on that thing right at about 80, 81,000, 82,000. That hits the top of what we've been talking about, pretty much like the high point. It could be a spike. It could be sustained with candle action, or it could just be a wick, right? But the whole idea of getting up there is more and more plausible at this point. And I think that's there's a pretty good case for that. So I like taking the long up to there. And then that also was something that we had talked about. That we, adios mio, we had talked about that if we that had something. What was there was some relevance with this. Obviously, right where we're at, we are sitting at a former support, which will act as resistance right back here in what is this, April? Oh, look at that! Right about a year ago, we erased an entire year. You get erased the all-time high of Bitcoin. You are sitting at the exact same point 1 year later. What are you going to do? How are you going to replay this from Bitcoin at 74,000? Are you going to hold or are you going to capitulate? What are you going to do? Drop it in the chat. What are you going to do? What's your strategy? You are literally the exact same point that Bitcoin was at last year at this time. How are you going to play it differently this time? You're going to take profits, right? If you're trading, you can take profits. If you are spot buying, if it goes down, you're not really going to be able to take profits, but are you going to DCA better so that when it comes back up, then you got a nice little stack there? What's your plan? What's your strategy? You got a year to figure it out, right? What's going to happen over the next year? Probably that. Boom. That unfortunately is just a flip of the chart. But you know what I mean? Like to see it come back up, it would be great, but none of us are really expecting that to happen. A little bit more of a fall down, a little bit more of a correction. We've got a couple spots here that I really like. This 49,000, this old wick right here. Remember, it was once a wick becomes a candlestick. This was August of 2024. This would be a great bear market low to come down to. And there you go. So there's one option. Here's another one right here. This one we've got like kind of a few more touch points with right over here. That's 53. You got, let's go with this one right here. Right. And so if if we see Bitcoin and you basically wick down to here. So this is this should happen. This 59,000, this should happen. Like once we figure out what this little hoopla is about, we come back down like we're expecting to. Oh, there you go. You might want to see the charts. So you know what I mean? And so look, we're right here. And right here is where what was this? This was last year, right? So we again, this was the erase of all last year. You've got this wick down here that was in October of 2024. You've got one that I believe extends back here. That you got a few more touch points up there, but July of 2024, and then you've got August of 2024 at the low point right there. And so, we could, and what I'd like to do, and when I put together this video is, all right, so say we did bottom, say this was our bottom, and now this is where you're at. This is what we're projecting, for the next run. So if you need to be mindful of a long-term investment strategy and we get to 150,000 in the next bull run, I think it's going to be way more than that, to be perfectly honest. I think 200, let's say 250. Let's put a line there. Right. Okay. So now, if we were to look at this and say right from where we are to get up to 250,000, and even if this takes until 2030, the chart doesn't go out this far, right? But even if this, again, we're thinking long-term investment strategy right now, and so we can get this thing at 74,000, and that's right now. And say you've got, you want to buy your Bitcoin investment portfolio right now, all in one grip, and then boom, you're willing to wait 10 years, it gets to 250,000. You've hit a 2.5x in your money, and you're super happy that works for you. Now let's look at some of the other situations. We come back down here and we decide, what, we're not going to hold this level. Boom, we fall. Boom. Now we're at 49,000. Sub 50,000 is to me, that is programmed, right? And so just a quick little measurement from if you were able to get Bitcoin at 49,000 and then you got that same investment strategy, you're like, you know what? Here's the deal. I got 10 years. I'm a young guy. I got my whole life ahead of me. I'm going to work. I don't want to just sit on the couch and be a fucking couch potato. I want to work and contribute. I'm going to do some things. This is my investment portfolio and I'm long-term in this thing. And then boom, you hold on to this thing, and so now your investment seed in however long this takes. Remember, this could take 2030. This could be 2035. This could be 20. In this case, it'd be 2036, right? 10 years, and you get to that. It's going to be well over that. And we're going to go over a story later where Michael Saylor thinks that this is a $21 million price tag. That's crazy. But okay, so I see what the chat did. Let's say dump it to 29K. I love that. I love what Mike is thinking right here. There's a couple people that feel the same way. So let's go. We did 30,000. So now, say we get the nuke of a century and you can get this thing at 30,000 USD for a Bitcoin. And you're like, dog, I just sold my house. I sold my car. I sold my watch collection. I sold everything to go all in on Bitcoin at the bear market low. Boom. Now you got, remember, because you're smart and you got the long-term forecast, you're like, all right. And remember, the length of time doesn't matter. We're long-term forecasting this. This is your investment portfolio. You let this thing ride for several years. You're not a meme coin trader anymore, which, by the way, they all got wrecked. The statistic was that they held coins for 55 seconds. 55 seconds was the meme coin trader average hold time. That's wild to me. wild. I get scalping. I get the meme coin thing, but that for any project to go up, everybody was paper handing like crazy. The moment it went up, you would dump because if you held on too long, you'd get dumped on. So that's why we're long terming it, right? You're DCA and in and out, especially over the long term with Bitcoin. But so you get it at 30,600. Say that's the number, and you ride this sucker up to 250K. Actually, let's do some Michael Saylor math. All right, you get it at, this is going to be hard to do. 34,000 is about as close as I can get zoomed like this. And we get it to 5 million. That's a 14,246% return. That is your 14x. That is how you're going to get a 14x on Bitcoin, is that Bitcoin's got to go to 5 million. Now, again, we're going to talk in a little bit here. We're going to go through a story that shows 21 million as the price tag. And so that would dwarf that, absolutely dwarf that investment if you can get yourself in at $30,000. So be on the lookout for that video series, the what ifs, basically all the different scenarios and strategies and situations that could determine a buying opportunity, depending on if it's now or at a bear market low at some different levels, and then peak potential where we think this is going long term wise. We're going long term. We're going at least to 2030 and beyond. So be on the lookout for that. All right. Ethereum, we talked about that before. It's at 2372. It has broken out of the structure that we had been drawing. Maybe we have now created this. All right. So now we got the touch point here. We got a touch point here and a touch point here. We'll see what happens. We may come back down. Now look, you had boop, boop. We've just got this, could be a boop. This could continue to go up, and that's that would be more of the move here. So if we happen to be cup and handling, we could see this thing pump up to 2,800. That would again go along the lines of seeing a big pump on Bitcoin. There you go, up to 85. I mean, who knows if it happens, right? It could just get rejected by this and we break back down. I will start selling IRL to load up below 750 on what? Chainlink? I'll buy Chainlink again under 725. Yeah, absolutely. That was a massive opportunity. Under $10 was the gift. Under $9 was a bigger gift. Under $8 was like, y'all better not be snoozing this. David says made more money trading Link than holding it. Yeah, it's been struggle busting for sure. We'll see if it gets back up to a big level. But interesting to see if we've got what we're going to see happen here. This could be also, this is Bitcoin. Could run back up to this level, create a double top. You never know what's going to happen. We're going to look at all sorts of situations here. And you got, obviously, RIP Jasmine. Well, no, I don't think so, man. Japan just flipped the script, dog. Japan is just like they've gone all in. We went over this headline the other day. Reframing crypto asset regulation in Japan, insight from the Financial System Council's working group. It was. Here we go. Japan moves to classify crypto assets as financial products. So it was like Monday morning when this came out. And obviously, Jasmine did not respond. Nothing responds well. It's just crazy. I have said things before where, back in the early days of crypto, like when I got into this, like before news articles would even pick up stories projects would just put out press releases, and that would cause a project to go like 5,000% up. Now you can say we're working with Japan, and we're bringing, even with, I'll even use Cardano as the example. Cardano is working to bring like trillions of dollars of RWAs on the UK deal. Look at this. Cardano secures UK bank deal to tokenize GBP deposits. Like, that's freaking huge. That is so big. But like, nothing happened. Like, doesn't matter what the news is right now. Like, that's how you know this shit's being manipulated out the wazoo, because these are articles that should send these things parabolic, because now they have actual physical integration in like the financial society. Pobo in the building. Let's go. Po man. Jasmine to guaranteed 0. Let's take a look. Jasmine. Look at Binance. Oh, so it's like death spiraling like some other coins are. It's still got a ways to go. It could be the opportunity of a lifetime. You could, man. See, I don't. There. Thank you for not being massive blocks. So there's something you got to pay attention to, and here's something you got to pay attention to, right? You could definitely see this thing go lower, and unfortunately, when the price is so low, it's 15% down to the first line, 23% down to the second line. So, but that to me is, I mean, again, you guys know my strategy and philosophy on wicks and candlesticks. This had a nice beginning. It's been a fall from grace since 2025. Look at this. This thing in December of 2029, definitely had, it could be that it became potentially manipulated, right? It is touted as Japan's Bitcoin. It's like the Internet of Things. It is really really popular in Japan, and so it could just be that it could just be that it's massively manipulated, right? This is a one of the sad stories that we always talk about on some coins is the inability to create a higher high. Like, it did that for so long, and then once it fell down, it's never been able to. Once it created a new low, like, it never recovered from it. But that could also be the manipulation. Think about XRP. XRP was manipulated for so long because of the scrutiny that it was under from the SEC investigation. And so when you look at Jasmine and you look at what's going on in Japan, Japan is regulating crypto. It's becoming financial products. This has the potential to rewrite the manuscript as far as how this looks and where it's going. So while, right now, 100%, this chart looks dead. This coin looks like it's in a death spiral. There is, again, some farther potential for it to fall. And if we do, let's do this. It's been a minute since we did this. We're going to call this our Jasmine generational buy. There you go. So when the alarm goes off, we'll get notified. I'll let you guys know. And so, if that's what you decide to do, you want to go long, or if you want to spot buy and hold that for the foreseeable future. If we do see another push down of the market, again, the 15 to 25%, that's not uncommon, especially to some of the other coins that you're looking at here, right? Ethereum, we got a spot down here where we could see this thing come down to. This was back in April of 2025. I honestly don't know if we're going to see Ethereum come down another 40%. Like, that seems kind of crazy. We're breaking out of this structure. But if we do, remember, it's the same thing that happened to Ethereum is what we're tracking on Bitcoin. So they seem to be working in tandem these days, where you've got the sharp drop down, and then you've got the consolidation uptrend, the sharp drop down, consolidation uptrend, and so we're preparing for another sharp drop down. But if we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. But we are prepared for it. It looks like Ethereum is on the verge of absolutely breaking out, changing the structure of this line that we've got. And that's always a good thing, especially when we're waiting for confirmation, when we're waiting for an uptrend in market. Plus, again, look, with this potential cup and handle move, if that's what's happening, you could see this run up to 2,800. Bitcoin was, with potentially the cup and handle that it is in, could be 85,000. XRP, not really in that. XRP is in a downtrend. XRP is getting pushed down even farther. We've got $1.13 marked as our buy zone for XRP. I wouldn't buy XRP until then. It's just rapidly and increasingly getting pushed down. There's no reason to believe that it's going to break out, from this high anytime soon. And it does. If it does, then maybe we spot buy a little XRP. But while it's continuing to get pushed down, there's no need, unless you've already got some and you want a DCA and you haven't bought any since up here. You can go ahead and buy a little bit, but look, it looks like it's getting pushed even further. But it's getting ready. It needs to make a decision, unless we need to, pull this. We can actually. That's probably a lot better, is to pull the line out. And so we still got a lot of time, and we still have the ability to come down on XRP another 17%, right? And so 17 was, what was the other one? 15 to 23%, something like that. So that seems like across the board, the potential. Yeah, look at we've already figured this out for Chainlink. That's 19% down to its peak that we saw down here, this little scam wick in February, the beginning of February. So it could just be a flash crash and then off to the races, or it could be the next leg down where we start to build that momentum. But that would get you that sub 750 Chainlink, which I know a lot of people are looking forward to. Feel like crypto manipulated me? 100%. Holy Toledo. Well, it opened your eyes to the scams of everything. Like everything. Not everything's a scam, but your bumholes is being manipulated by these institutions. 100%, man. 100%. We all are. And that's why, it's that one of the reasons, like when I'm trading and stuff, like I'll take the profits on the trade, because everything is just so manipulated. You never know what's going to dip, what's going to rip, what's going to flip, how it's going to happen. And so you take what you can when you can, and then you move on. And you don't get married to it. Now, unless you're building the community, you're part of a community, all that stuff, like it's going to be different. All right, let's get back to here. All right, here is Chainlink. Same thing, man. We were talking about that a second ago. Solana's got the same thing, and this is why we're not really buying any meme. I didn't mean to say meme. That's why we're not buying any altcoins yet. This, if we come back down and visit this, that's another 20%. Ondo already did it once, and then we created another one. Let's see, for us to come back down there, 19.5%, 20% to get back to the wick. So, like, again, not that it is guaranteed, but it is looking more likely that is what's going to happen. Here we've got let's zoom out, because I believe this is H bar, and this is a multi-year uptrend that we are on the downside of. That's why I feel like this might be one of the absolute biggest opportunities in crypto, is that this thing is so undervalued based on like the potential of where it's going to go. With this, and this is a little extreme, right? This is the hopium talking. Is that this is the upside potential of it. We're going to hit 66 cents sometime this run. That would be from where it's at right now. For us to hit up here is a 7x, right? Very doable, especially with the company they keep and what they're building. I think everybody who is an H barbarian would understand that. We are going through this absolute demolishing downtrend, right? And then kind of broke out of the downtrend and we're consolidating now. So, maybe this is the consolidation. And I'm sure you could flag, you could make a flag here based on, what it's done and bottomed out. And hopefully, after we're done with the consolidation, we don't break this this uptrend that we've got. We can a little bit, but not by much. If we want to make sure that we keep this, like, everything else has a scam wick down below. H bar does not. It's got a little tiny one actually that was hidden. There it is. It is hidden. Let's see. Where is it to that? From where we are down here is 15%. Look at that. Everything's 15 to 20% down from the all-time highs. For all-time low, the most recent scam wave. So let's see. How's the S&P doing? Look at that recovery. It's back. Man, it never did it. It never came down. Unless it is at 2% gap. Let's see. We can get it off the weekly. Let's go to the daily. It had a like a 2% gap right here. And people said that was the bullish reversal, was this right here. It gapped up 2% in a day. Boom, shot this thing straight up. Now, we're in crypto. We've seen corrections. We could see this. We could see the market. Bop, 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 and then come back down. But all of the other corrections that the S&P 500 has had, all look very similar. Rounded, and then a V-shaped recovery. Textbook. Rounded top, V-shaped recovery. Right? You got the reversal wick and everything. Rounded top, V-shaped recovery. Rounded top, V-shaped recovery. So we wanted to, if we were going to get another push down, we wanted to try to go to get it down here. But, whether it's the Iran war, it is also a midterm election year. So the markets can't be totally dog shit. They got to be all right for the Republicans to remain in control. So very interesting. Hope you guys are doing well. Make sure you smash the like button. Shout out to you guys for being here. I think that's about all the charts for today. You get to see, with Bitcoin at 74.5. We're on a nice little tear today. Hopefully we break out of. Let's get out of the weekly here. Hopefully we break up out of the structure that we're in. Again, we could probably see this thing rip up into the 80s, which would be awesome. But it could also just break down. Very, very likely to do either way. But we've got the we've got the downtrend. We've got this downtrend right here. So it may, we may bounce and then continue on down here. Or we've got this new potential where we'll go up on this uptrend, and we've got to try to smash out some of these resistance points. So we've got a nice big open gap of volume that would take us to, we had talked before, this is 86.7. So that could be a great place to hit along to. Or when we hit 86.7, short the market, because it may get rejected right back down, but it could probably rip up pretty quick. So be on the lookout for that. Get your longs, boys, long your longs. All right, let's do this. Let's get into, was there any other charts that we wanted? US oil. I got beat up on a trade on oil. Welcome to the world of commodities during a war. All right, let's go to, I did not mean to click what I clicked. But here we go. This came from Nikita Bear, the head of product at X. The platform may launch something to fix crypto. It's had a rough year. We'll see what that means. This was very interesting. I feel like Nikita has done some, he's done some really good work getting rid of the bots and the bogus activity, but also like changing the algorithm and stuff for people who rely on X like I do. There's been a lot of challenges with reach. And not because of like fake subscribers. I've never bought it a single thing in my entire life. But definitely just even the pizza posts, the reach is way down. It is what it is. Like it's all learning the strategy, learning the algorithm, and how you can fix what you do. But it's definitely it's been rough as a creator, but we'll see. I've seen a lot of people jump ship. Don't jump ship. Just react and adapt. Don't capitulate. There's no need for that. Let's go. We got another X article here. Today, HSBC successfully completed a tokenized deposit pilot on the Canton network covering insurance, issuance, transfer, and atomic settlement of deposits against digital assets. Boom. There we go. There's some real life stuff that happened this morning. That came out or last night at 10 p.m. There we go. Strategies Bitcoin stockpile nears BlackRock's ETF holdings after $1 billion Bitcoin buy. As I was telling you earlier in the show, Strategy only needs 9,000 more Bitcoin at the present to surpass BlackRock's industry-leading investment vehicle, their ETF, the IBIT shares. That's crazy. Speaking of Saylor and Strategy, Bitcoin could reach 20 million. We're going to go through this one. Institutional adoption is key for stability, and rehypothecation practices are suppressing prices. So this was from a podcast. So we'll just go through the key takeaways, and then we'll move on. Bitcoin's price is expected to significantly increase over the long term, potentially reaching 20 million. Bitcoin is currently oversold and is likely to much higher by the end of the year. Bitcoin is poised to emerge as the dominant digital capital of the world. Global recognition of Bitcoin as a legitimate asset is crucial for its long-term value. The normalization of banks holding Bitcoin as collateral could significantly advance adoption, and it will. Absolutely. The creation of credit against Bitcoin collateral can absorb the entire annual supply of Bitcoin. Rehypothecation of crypto assets is currently suppressing Bitcoin prices. The price of Bitcoin will increase significantly if rehypothecation decreases. The price of houses influenced by safety and financing options paralleling Bitcoin's adoption curve. All right, there's a lot of those. Potential to reach 21 million. Okay, so yeah, we know who he is. Okay, was he just like bullshitting? I think it's oversold, so I would expect that Bitcoin will be much higher by the end of the year than it is right now. Yeah, but I think we're going to see a little short-term bleed. So might not be. Here you go. Let's see what they say about Japan. The global embrace of it is a legitimate asset. So as the Americans, the Chinese, the Europeans, the Japanese recognize it as capital asset that you can hold a long-term, long investment or long-term store value. That's a big step. Yeah. Again, like that only again with Japan in the mix. We talk about Jasmine. We'll see. I'd like to think that it won't go to zero. I know a lot of people are invested in Jasmine. Got a lot of supporters that love Jasmine. Hopefully, it doesn't go to zero. Hopefully, it doesn't. But get your crystal ball. Institutional adoption, regulatory challenges, impact Bitcoin's role in credit markets. Okay, so there's an article for you to check out. Again, this is actually probably what you would want to do is just watch the podcast with Bankless and Saylor. The Federal Reserve's April inflation forecast is in, and it just keeps getting worse for Wall Street. The Iran war uncertainties are threatening to disrupt a persistently strong rally in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ Composite. We did see a nice recovery in the S&P 500. We can look at the Dow Jones and NASDAQ. A historic energy supply disruption could pinch discretionary spending and adversely impact transportation and production costs for businesses. And the Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland's proprietary inflation forecasting tool estimates a greater than 1% point jump in U.S. inflation from February to April, enough to alter the Fed's rate easing cycle. Boom. All right. Let's go. Ondo is seeking the SEC clearance for tokenized equities model on Ethereum. The SEC signals openness to tokenization, encouraging firms to directly engage as it fine-tunes regulations to fit the sector. Tokenized RWAs total about 23 billion today, but projections see that figure growing into the trillions over the next day. We know that. We'll get to the RWA stuff here shortly. The Cryptopolitan report: 35% of investors are already moving into tokenized assets. What's holding the rest back? I think it's just exposure, to be honest with you. Understanding and exposure, and probably a little bit more. And I'm not going to go through this article, but there's a lot of good information that would tell you that one, you need better education, you need some safeguards, some safe rails, and that's all happening right now. So we're seeing these financial products come on chain, and that is going to gain the trust of the other 65% of the investors. XRP enters Japan's mainstream market via Rakuten's $23 billion loyalty program. So, what is Rakuten? That's a wallet, a regulated digital asset platform in Japan. Let's go. Let's take a look at it. Oy. English. Give me the English. There we go. All right, cryptocurrencies invest with the points. So this is a mainstream crypto wallet over in Japan, it looks like, right? You can margin trade, have a wallet, Web3 wallet, NFT trading, market information, daily report. All right, cool. Let's see. We look through that news, and that news. Yep. Let's go to rwa.xyz and then we're out of here. It's 9:15. If there's anything that you guys, hey, what's up? Next level. GM, by the way, what's up to the chat? Crypto Billy in the house. Let's go, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Here you go. Here's some RWA information just to further kind of the case points that you're seeing in these headlines about, tokenization and where all these markets are going. 29.25 billion. We will hit 30 billion at some point this week, most likely. Let's see what happens. Stable coins were at 301 billion last week, about to hit 302 billion this week. U.S. Treasuries, tokenized U.S. Treasuries, 13.42 billion. So this thing's been going up like crazy. You got stocks. They were at, look at that. Finally, we are showing a 1.01 billion. So we were a little over, and then we were stuck under at Friday when we ended this, or yesterday. When we looked at this, it was a 0.97, I believe. So we were damn near close. We were like 997 million. I think so. 979 million. And then, so yeah, we're over the threshold, over a billion, on our way to 5 billion, as you guys can see. Let's go. Real estate 440 the last time we looked. What happened? Wait, what? Maybe I was looking at a different. No, didn't we? This used to be in the fours. 444 million. Something's up. Maybe in metric changed. I'm not really sure. But all right. 29.25 billion. So we're about to hit 30 billion overall for the global market of RWAs and tokenization in the ecosystem. So, all right, that is going to do it for today. I appreciate you guys. Couple things. One, make sure, let me actually, now that we've got you guys have got the show, the markets are going to go live in just a little bit here. I want you to definitely get yourself involved there. Let's just go here, copy link. I'm going to send that out to YouTube and the Kick people. No, Rumble. There it is for the X. Okay, so there is the BitUnex link for if you guys are watching the show. I just put a BitUnex link in the chat. If you are not part of the W3BC J-Chains trading team, I would tell you to do so. I'm giving away 1,000 with BitUnex. We're giving away $1,000 on Friday live during this show. We'll do it at the end of the show to traders and people who have funded their accounts and started trading. And so if you've got any questions, obviously hop into the Discord. There's the link as well, or you can shoot me a DM on X if you're not in and you don't want to join the Discord, or maybe none of that is your style and you're like, what is my style? I want to email you. There you go. Team at w3bcmedia.com. That's my email. You can shoot me an email and I will get anything that you got, and we'll get you squared away if you got any questions. But we do have the community in Discord. We are building that up. We're going to start doing live shows in there. We're going to start doing a lot more inside the Discord. So join up, squat up while you can, and then from there, get on the trade team so that you can earn some money. Earn some money this week. Friday, I'm giving away $1,000 to you guys. I'm out there trading. So my name might get pulled. I might get some wins, but I got to give that right to you guys because the whole point is for y'all to win. So get in there, earn those tickets so that I don't have to. All right, that'll do it for today. I appreciate every single one of you. Make sure that you smash the like button on your way out of here. GM over in the chat, over on Discord. Mike the Modern Canadian in there. Let's get it. Remember, tomorrow is Wednesday, so I'll be back tomorrow for this morning show, but also Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We got Trade Daddies, Mike the Modern Canadian and I do. So that will do it for today. Adios, mi amigos. Remember to get yourself 1% better every single day, today included. So tomorrow when we see each other, we're a little bit better.